What's happening, everybody? Hey, this is John Kitchens, and this is episode 72 of Expert Mentors Live. Super excited for today's episode. We've got my main man from the west side of the 216 back on, Mr. Joe Hollo. And man, we're going to chat a little bit on how to master the for sale by owner. If you guys have any questions or want to chime in, drop it in the Q&A, hit it in the chat. If you're watching this replay, shoot us a message, and we'll definitely help clear up any questions or thoughts or anything that you guys need. So, Joel, say hello to the Honey Badger Nation.
What's going on from Cleveland? How you doing, man? How's everybody going?
It's good, man. I really appreciate you. I know you're super jam-packed. We were laughing like you jumped on just like 60 seconds ago. I was like, you're running from one to another, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely am. But I have been, I'm so passionate about the for sale by owners, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on this call today. Like, this is something where you guys have helped me master to change my career around, and I'm just super passionate about it. It's something also that our team, we have a group of agents, about 8 agents on the team that are killing it with what I'm going to share today.
Yeah. I'm super excited, ready to jump in. Before we do, though, I want to just for the Honey Badger Nation is growing exponentially. I mean, I'd have to check with Kinder. I mean, we're at a 5 or 6% month over month growth rate, which means if you guys understand how to double your business, it's about 6% growth each month equals at the end of 12 months equals a double of your business. And that's really where we're at right now. So Expert Mentors was created from, the influencers within this community. And what we wanted to do was be able to tap back into the horsepower. And as most of you guys know, there's so many talented people inside of the community. And so many of these people just want to give back. So Expert Mentors was a way for us to leverage this power, and as an added value benefit with us doing these live weekly trainings that are offered by some of the best agents on the planet. So make sure you set the calendar reminder, noon Central every Wednesday. We've gone 73 weeks. We had a technical difficulty one week with Zoom, so we'll blame Zoom. I won't blame Daniel Beer, who's the one that we fumbled on that. But nonetheless, man, we've been really consistent with this. It's invaluable training that is just brought back to you, from the agents inside of this amazing Honey Badger Nation, and today's going to be no different. So, Joel, for those of you tuning in, Joel's been on more than me. No, he's been on a lot of these Expert Mentors lives. I think you've been on more than anybody else. I'll put it that way. And definitely some tremendous valuable content. Did some open house. Really broke down the team concept and the model that you guys are running in Cleveland. And there's within the EXP model, I don't know of anybody that's got it dialed in better than you guys. So there's a training that they did on that, accountability groups. There's a ton of valuable content that Joel has been able to bring to the Honey Badger Nation over the course of these 73, 74 weeks that we've been running with these episodes. But Joel is in Cleveland. He is, he's the man. I'll just put it that way. He's the man. Team lead and real estate coach for Chase Stasic. You guys, when got into EXP, we were hovering right around 9 agents, right? In January of 18. Yep. You guys are 50 plus strong, continuing to grow, having interviews and everything each and every day. But before that, man, you were an agent, rocking and rolling, specializing in new construction and working alongside Mr. Albie Stasic. Yeah. Joe, give I mean, you don't need any additional introduction, but just give everybody a little context, kind of your situation, your role as it is today, anything else that you want to share. And then, man, let's jump right into today's topic.
Yeah. So, I mean, to touch on, back in the day, if you want to, about 10 years ago, Al and I kind of joined forces. And when we did, that's when Al kind of joined NAEA, and we started taking over all the trainings and implementing everything that you guys had said. So as far as this FSBO training is straight out of your guys' books. It's modified a little, 10 years later on things that we found out that is working a little bit different in our marketplace. So that's a challenge that I'm going to give to everybody on this call. This is not the Bible, but it's pretty damn close. So change it to your marketplace, find out where it's working, what in it's not working, and just tweak it a little. All right. It's on the right path. So when we implemented it, all the home selling system, the buying system, the scripting, everything from you guys, it was like an aha moment to me. And I really embraced it and I went all in, and it's when I said career changing, I mean, that's why I feel that I am in the role, in a leadership role that I am now. And it allows us to, you guys have given us permission to do the expert mentors training here in Cleveland every single month. So we train on this stuff, exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. And so that's kind of my role with the team is I do, onboarding is a big thing right now because of the growth that you were talking about. So we do a ton of structured onboarding. We learned the hard way that it needs to be completely structured. So we've created a great system. I'm a huge part of that system. We have a 90-day coaching program for our agents that get them on the right foot every single week. I want to make sure that they're on the right track. And if they're struggling with anything, I want to know it. And then I do a lot of the training. So I have a lot of live trainings just like you do. We have a private Facebook page that every single Friday I'm on, along with some Facebook Lives throughout the week and just updating them. So it's kind of like a training, coaching, onboarding. But I think one of the greatest things that I love to do, amazingly, is I'm the hey, got a second guy. So I field phone calls from our agents saying, hey, got a second? This and this happened, or I got this objection. How would you have handled it? And why is that so rewarding? It's because if they're not calling me, asking me questions about a situation that they're in, they're not doing their job. They're not actively out there committed to their success, right? I'm assuming they're doing nothing. They're not dialing. So I'd rather get those calls saying, hey, I'm struggling with this opening line or with this script. And that way I can help them because I know they are committed to their success. So.
Yep. That's amazing. And it's definitely, part of the roles and responsibilities right there, being for the, agent support and being able to, provide the solutions and feedback that, your team needs on a consistent basis. So that's fantastic. All right, guys, make sure you have your notepad and pen handy. I know you guys are going to be scratching out some notes. Like I said, if you have any questions, hit us up, drop it. If you're on the, joining us live today, hit it into the chat or the Q&A. And if you're listening to the replay, just throw it into the Facebook comments or you'll have Joel's information. You can reach out to him directly. We'll give that information at the end of the call. So, all right, brother, you ready to roll?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let me see if this will work with you guys. Everybody see that?
Got it.
All right, cool. So I'm going to breeze through this. There's a couple things that I want to go over prior to diving into this whole for sale by owner training. But here's pretty much what we're going to go over. So I want you guys to understand that this is a source, number one, that a lot of agents know about, but a lot of them are scared to tap into, and there's no reason to be scared. And I'm going to show you exactly why, how, and to do it as ethically as possible. Honesty is one of the biggest things that I want to kind of express because this isn't a script where we're going to say, hey, we have a buyer and we want to go take a look at your house. Yes, we're going to utilize that as part of it, but you'll see how the honesty part comes in at the end. So,
hey, Joel, let me. I want to just kind of give everybody something to think about. And I had a conversation with one of the top agents on the planet this morning, and she shared with me just a mental perspective that hit home. It hit home for her, and it was such a great distinction. And essentially, it was, don't bring your baggage from a previous experience into the new experience.
Yeah.
So I just challenge you all listening in here to what Joel says, because as human beings, we all judge, right? And so my challenge for all of you listening in, and this is just a great lesson you can apply to anything in your life moving forward, is that don't, going into this training, don't allow your previous experience to close off your mind to what you're about to learn, right? The reason that when Joel and I were talking about, things that he can add of value, he wanted to really bring this to you guys. And all the stuff that Joel, if you go back and watch any of Joel's expert mentors, it's all stuff that they're having success with in Cleveland, right? It's in their market and it's working. And so that's what he wants to share with you guys. And so my challenge is that from a mindset perspective, that triggered me right there when it says the success factors and the mindset, is that don't allow your previous baggage, experiences to stop you from opening up your mind to figuring out how we can make this work, instead of closing off and saying it doesn't work or it doesn't work in my market. That's all bullshit.
Yep.
And so don't allow your previous previous baggage to stop you off from adding another oil well into your business that will produce the fruits and the rewards to help you with that low-hanging fruit to help you grow your business. So sorry, I kind of got on my soapbox, but it's so important. And I just want everybody to have that open mindset to learn something new. How can you, what are you finding useful from this? How can you apply it? How can you implement it into your market?
No, and I appreciate that. And you're exactly right, because I mean, a huge percentage, if not almost every agent on this call, probably has tried a for sale by owner. And they're called hard calls for a reason. They're hard calls for us to make, and they're hard, conversations to have with that agent if you're not doing it, or I'm sorry, with that seller if you're not doing it properly. So absolutely. And this whole technique, I promise you, this is going to sound so elementary the way that we're going to go about it, but it will work. I promise you. So yeah, I mean, you're going to earn a massive amount of commission of income from this one particular lead source, the FSBOs, and it happens to be free. And that actually should say ... or very little money, because we do pay for our for sale by owner for the data, and we'll go over that a little bit later, but I'll also show you where to get this for absolutely free. I'm also going to go over the success factors, the mindset, the motivation that goes into calling for sale by owners, because that is probably the one biggest thing. And I just realized that I have 3 number ones on the board instead of 1, 2, and 3. So
they're all number one. They're all number one.
No one else called me out on that, but I'm calling myself out. So, and then also the scripting and dialogue. I will post the script for everybody on here, but I will also physically go over it. And the whole goal is to differentiate yourselves from every other agent that is potentially calling these for sale by owners. So I want you guys to ask yourself one question, and I had to ask myself this, is who wants to get off of that real estate roller coaster? And if y'all don't know what that is, that's when you go and you sell 4 houses 1 month, and then you wait until you spend all the money. So you go 2 or 3 months without selling a house, and then you're back up to 2 houses, and then you're back to 0. So I would rather see you guys be on the real estate roller coaster that's selling 4 houses, then 3 houses, then 5 houses, then 3 houses. I'd rather see you bouncing off the top rather than the bottom. So I had to ask myself that question, and you have to do something different that's going to create a predictable business for yourself. Okay, I would rather know where my next deal is coming from rather than selling my deal and looking around going, shit, what do I do now? So I'm going to show you a way with this method, even if you cannot get into a for sale by owner's doors, where I'm going to set you guys up on an appointment later on down the road. So I'm just getting done reading the book, Can't Hurt Me, for the 3rd time.
Nice.
It's amazing how, we always talk about that. And I read them pretty quickly, come together. And you pull different things out of books depending on the position you are in your life. And one of the things that really stuck with me is David Goggins says, there is no excuse to be where you're at if it's not where you want to be.
100%.
Yeah, and if you're not doing what you know you need to be doing, you're a quitter. And that's the only way that you can guarantee failure is to quit. Okay, so if you are not having success with a for sale by owner, you'll see one of our main success factors is perseverance. If you're gonna do something and you continue to do something over and over again, it's impossible not to get better at it. All right, so we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting things to change. And lastly, if your behaviors are not aligned with your goals, you will constantly come up short. Why do we want to bring this up? Because everybody's got these big pie in the sky goals and they want to tap into, I don't know, about 25% of what they have in front of them. And so I want to open up your minds to try something a little bit new. So the success factors that go into dialing a for sale by owner. Number one, this is a game. If you are not having fun, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Okay, if you're dreading, you're going to dread to get on the phone, but that's where the mindset comes in. So it's, and what you guys need to understand, it's a numbers game and there should be zero stress involved with it. I'm going to go over those numbers here in about 10 slides to show you how easy this is going to be. You need to be enthusiastic, and anybody can do this, but people tend to migrate towards enthusiastic people, even if it's about bad news. I mean, here, put it this way. There are listings that I know I shouldn't have gotten because I was inexperienced, but I was enthusiastic as hell when I was in that house, and they gave it to me because of it. So you have to be enthusiastic on the phone. If you're not, it will come across that way, and the people are not going to want to hire you or do business with you. And you need to be determined. If you're not going to believe in this plan and say, you know what, I am going to do this and forget everything else, then forget it, right? So you have to hone in on your skill, and you are going to make the $250,000 a year that you want to make if you just follow this process. But you have to stick with it. You can't give it a shot for 4 days and say, you know what, this isn't working, because you're gonna end up failing at it. And we just talked about that. So the market knowledge, you have to understand who you're calling, and you have to understand your current marketplace. Okay, because that'll show that you have confidence and that you are going to be the expert in the area, because that's who people are going to end up hiring in the first place. So I'm going to show you exactly how to know the market value, what to say, and exactly when to say it about your market knowledge. And then research, know who we're talking to, know who you're going to see, and be the expert. Part of the script is you're going to call them by their first name. You know, how am I going to call John Kitchens, right? I'm not going to say, oh, hey, this is Joel with eXp Realty. No, hey, John, it's Joel, right? You act like you know them. And then be confident, believe in yourself, because once again, it goes back to like the enthusiastic success factor that we just talked about. If they don't feel that you're confident on the phone, why should they even hire you? And then perseverance. It's a numbers game. If you do something enough times, you're going to get good at it. And Jake Kinder talks all the time about throwing up half-court baskets, right? If you're sitting here and you want to throw up 100 half-court shots, you're bound to make one. That's where the numbers game comes in. But the next time you throw up 100 baskets, you're going to make a few more, and then a few more. So that's all you have to know, that just because you're getting pushback from a seller or you're getting a no, the next one could be a yes. All right, so just be perseverant about it. And how are we going to do this? By our lovely for sale by owners. So what is the end goal? Everybody has to understand that most for sale by owners, they are eventually going to list with an agent. All right, and you have to be the agent that's at the top of their mind. So you have to have a goal for every call. Those two goals are going to be either an appointment or nurture. So let me throw some metrics by you. And John, you can confirm this. Guys, these are rookie numbers. So this is Cleveland, Ohio. You'll love it or you hate it. And actually, these are high for Cleveland because these are our company numbers. So I don't even want to show you what our MLS numbers are because those are way down. But so Cleveland, Ohio, we sell $175,000 house, 3% commission. There's your total commission on that house. check out these numbers. Therefore, if my income goal, which a lot of our agents are, is $250,000, that means there's your monthly, there's your weekly, how it breaks down, but that means I got to sell 4 listings a month. Or in our world, it's basically signing 4 listings, 4 new listings, because they're going to sell. Our listings are selling immediately here. So if 4 is your goal, I'm going to show you exactly how to get there very, very easily. Okay, so here is the script broken down, and then I'm going to dive into the script a little bit more. So take some heavy notes on this section here. So number 1 conversation outline is act as if. I just brought this up. How do you talk to your friends?
Yep.
Hey, John, it's Joel with eXp Realty. Always call them by their first name. Know who you are calling. And act as if they know you or they should know you. Be upfront. Identify yourself. If you notice how I said, hey, John, it's Joel with eXp Realty. If you ever want to lose the trust of a for sale by owner, don't tell them you're a real estate agent. I guarantee you they will have their guard up the entire time. So be upfront with them right away. This is probably one of the most important ones. Differentiate yourself. Okay, one of the greatest lines that you can use is, listen, I know you're probably getting called by a lot of agents telling you that they have a buyer for your house, but I'm not like every other agent that's calling you. I don't have a specific buyer for your house. I actually specialize in home sales in your neighborhood. You can use 2 terms like that, but remember how I brought up honesty? I don't have a specific buyer for your neighborhood. So one of the lines that we say, I mean, we do a lot of lead generation in the area. So we do have buyers that shown strong interest in these for sale by owners neighborhoods. So sometimes we will use that, because if you do go through our bucket of leads that we do have hundreds in that area. So it depends on how you feel you want to handle that conversation. You could hit them and just say, hey, I'm not like every other agent. I don't have a specific buyer for your house. I've never even seen your house before. All right. So, but I do specialize in home sales in your neighborhood. The key is differentiate yourself. I'm not like every other traditional agent that's giving you a call. I'm actually an expert.
Hey, Joel. So if like somebody's working into a new neighborhood and that's not truthful, right? They don't specialize in home sales in that area. I know you guys have a little bit of a different advantage, because I can see where you could say, you know, our company specializes in homes in your area. Yeah. But what would you say, you know, would be something truthful? I'm with you too, right? You know, be genuine, be authentic. But what would you say to somebody that's just kind of trying to get going, that really doesn't specialize in home sales in that area?
Yeah. So and we have that same, I just got to ask that exact same question by one of our new agents today, is, you know, you could number 1, what I would tell you is that you could just let them know, listen, I don't have a specific buyer for your house, but I do have some buyers that I'm working with right now. And I just wanted to get your permission to share some information about your home with these buyers, just to see if it would be a fit or not.
Perfect.
Yep. Or, you know, what I talk with from somebody else is that you can use the words like, hey, listen, my brokerage have sold a few homes in this area, and it generated some buyers that shown strong interest in the neighborhood. And I was just calling to get some information about your house to see if I was, with your permission, if I could share it with those buyers.
Right. And you know, if you're a solo agent, you know, obviously you're on this training call, part of EXP. If somebody in the network and EXP sold there, you can say, hey, one of our associates, one of my partners, right? You can use some of that language that's truthful, right? And so I think that's good, because that's a limiting belief that people put on themselves. Like, well, I don't specialize in that neighborhood. I've never sold a home in there, so I can't say that, right? But there's other things that you can say. So don't let that stop you. Yep.
No, absolutely. That's a great question. So, you know, and so it kind of goes into number 4 here. And that's part of the building rapport process. So when you say things like, listen, I was just calling to get some information about your home, and your permission to share this information with some of the clients that I do have looking in this area. So this is where you might get your first bit of pushback. And one of the objections that usually comes out is, well, the information's right there online.
Yep.
And so it's a matter of how we obviously handle that objection, and which is great. I actually, that's where I got your information from. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really believe everything that I see. I was burned with the last for sale by owner that I went in to take my buyer. And, the pictures were so deceiving, and I would rather hear it from you. So if you don't mind, just spend a couple minutes and tell me some of your favorite features. Like, why do you love your house, or why would somebody else want to buy your house? And then asking questions, right? We all know that that's how you build rapport, but remember, this isn't for you to jump in and say, oh yeah, we got a home selling system for that. Oh yeah, we handle all of that. Building rapport, and Brian Moses told me this a long time ago, and it really stuck with me. He said that buyers and sellers, in this case, obviously sellers, only tune into one radio station. That's WIIFM. What's in it for me? And all you have to do is keep asking questions about them, their situation, and go deep. Right? You're not going to be surface level. Like when they start talking about their house and they say things like, well, my house is completely redone. We just got our kitchen done a couple years ago, and I'm going to stop them right there. Hang on. Talk to me about that a little bit. Did you hire a company? Were they custom cabinets? Did you go all out, granite countertops, stainless appliances? I'm diving deep into their situation, and I'm taking notes. Use the seller counseling interview. I think that's going to come up here in a couple slides. Take notes on this whole entire conversation, and I want to care about what they're telling me. So I'm just calling to get some information about your home. Tell me some of your favorite features. What do you love? And that's going to break down the walls, because these numbers in this order are very important. Most real estate agents will ask the commission question at number 2 or number 3. Hi, this is Joe with the XP Realty, and yeah, I was just curious. Would you be open to paying me a 3% commission if I brought a buyer for your house? Wrong time. They got their guard up. They hate you already. Because don't forget, why is a for sale by owner a for sale by owner?
That's right.
They either hate real estate agents or they're trying to save the commission. But I'm going to break that down for you too on how that really doesn't even matter, is the commission. So
I think those questions too, Joel, and you'll probably bring it up, is that it helps you as you nurture the opportunity over time, right? So like if for example, right, where you guys are at, somebody has an in-ground pool, right? You can follow up with them in a week or two. It's like, hey, you guys, you still got the pool open, or do you guys close the pool, for the winter? Did you get the cover on it? Right. Whatever you have points to talk about when you ask those questions, and you get those key nuggets that they're proud of about their home, that allows you to nurture during the nurture process. So it's important that you do that, and you ask those questions, and you make those notes, because they're going to help you in the future, all the way through, even if you work with them, all the way through negotiation of closing and after the sale, right? And it's super, super critical, guys, that as you're going through this process, you're capturing those notes, you're making those personal, notes, personal relevance that allows you to have, continue that rapport and connection moving forward.
Yeah, and even like you said, throughout the whole process, even when you go on that listing appointment, hey guys, introduce yourself. Where can I set my stuff down? I can't wait to see this beautiful kitchen you were talking about on the phone.
Yep.
And it's actually, I just consider it doing our job, right? It's listening. It's having, the strategy of preeminence. It's having their best interest in mind and caring about the client, not the customer. So number 5, this kind of goes into what you were just talking about. Why? What is their big why? And that better be one of your questions. Man, that sounds like a beautiful home. I really appreciate you taking the time and explaining that to me. Let me ask you this. Why are you selling in the first place? Well, you know what? We're downsizing. Our last kid just went away to college. Oh, no, where did they go? Ohio State? We're talking Buckeye football. right? We're building rapport. I'm going deep with each of these questions. And then there you go. There's a seller counseling interview. If you guys don't have a copy of the seller counseling interview, I believe, John, we got it correct.
Yep.
So that is huge. Like that is actually taking notes. And by the way, it's not taking notes like the robot right down the page. You better have your margins filled out with additional information on there from the questions that you are asking. But knowing their why is huge. It's probably one of the biggest answers to the question that you want to know.
Man, if they went to Ohio State, man, one of my questions would be how they like that big OU flag right in the middle of their field.
Well, at least you didn't bring up the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, come on, man. That's too soon. Let's see how they do this week. All right. So, yeah, seller counseling interview, guys. It's in part of the Certified Home Selling Advisor process that you guys all have access to inside of Kajabi. If you don't have your access, shoot me a message after this. We'll make sure that that you're in there. You've gone through it. It's broken down. It's one of the things that we stress is the question that you don't ask is the question you get hit when you walk in the door. And so it's really critical that seller counseling interview, the questions are in there for a reason. So definitely, if you haven't gone through that training, make sure that you guys make time to go through that process.
Yep. That's awesome. Definitely use that seller counseling interview on every single one. And then get the price plus commission. So how do we ask the commission questions? This is one of my favorite questions to ask. It's almost like on the buyer side, right? Are you pre-approved? That it's an aggressive question. It's the hardest question you can ask. So it's not, so if, would you pay me a 3% commission? It's not that. You ask it, you serve it up on a silver platter to these sellers. So let me get this straight. I see that you're listed at $200,000. And at that price, you'd be open to paying me a 3% commission, wouldn't you? Now I'm making that assumptive that, hey, we're already friends. I already built rapport, and you're going to get a yes a lot of the time. So write that down. So if I were to bring a buyer to pay your price terms and close in your time frame, you'd be open to pay me a 3% commission, wouldn't you? All right, and understand once they say yes, there's a 3% gap there. Now, the only thing that you need to worry about that they are not willing to pay is the 3% on the list side. And you should be able, A, to show them how you can net them more money, and that'll come up here in a second. But B, so one of my favorite lines that Kinder used to teach was once they agree to that and you understand the 3% gap, you can literally ask them on the phone. So, and I understand, at the 200 price, are you flexible at that? If I were to bring somebody to pay you cash and, close immediately on this, you have a little flex in that price or is that firm? Well, no, if someone were paying me cash, I'd probably, I'd be able to come down a little. That's great. Well, what would be your rock bottom number for someone that would bring you basically a briefcase full of cash? Well, I would take 292. Well, look what they just did. I'm sorry, 192. Look what they just did. They just negotiated $8,000 off of the price, which is more than the 3% commission that they're not willing to pay for the listing side. So it's honestly, it's that easy. And I was talking with, it's leaving me right now. Steve in Atlanta.
Freeman,
boom. Freeman is a genius at this. He will literally bring a piece of paper and he will show them, right on a piece of paper exactly this whole method right here that I'm talking about. Here's where you listed. Here's the commission. Here's what you were willing to negotiate. Well, look at this. Not only do I feel that we can raise your asking price, but this is what you would be leaving on the table if you did not hire me. And it's a really, really good method to do. So understand that 3% gap, because a lot of real estate agents don't realize that's the only thing that you are trying to negotiate with this for sale by owner. So the last thing, which is is also one of my favorites, is net them more money. What is their motivation, right? We always say, what's their big mo? What's the mo? It's to put more money in their pocket. How could anybody, and yes, you will get people to say no, but how could anybody say no when you say, that's great. Would you be open to seeing a system that could potentially net you more money? And I know it's not that easy. I have a few different closes to show you guys on how this works, but that's what you have to understand. It's all about netting them more money, because honestly, what idiot is going to say no to that? And you could even throw that, whoa, so you don't want to see a method that I could potentially put more money in your pocket that would more than cover my commission than doing what you're doing right now as a for sale by owner? Right? That's a home run. So understand it's all about netting them more money.
Just to kind of emphasize real quick on what you were sharing about, Steve, is that there's really power in when you're demonstrating and doing work in front of a prospective, client.
Yep. There's
just power, right? There's power in doing the work, right? Doing the math for them right in front of them. It is definitely something that is not part of your presentation arsenal. You definitely want to make sure that it is moving forward. It's super, super powerful.
Yep, absolutely it is. And normally if I had my easel set up with a big pad of paper, I would draw it out for you guys so you could see how it's done. And I was not prepared with that today. So I apologize, but yeah, it is, it's super powerful doing that right in front of them. So I'm going to go over the scripting and I'm just going to kind of walk through it. I might jump around a little bit because I have a couple, I have like a script A and a script B, depending on how aggressive and what your personality is and which direction you can take this, but it will be easy to follow along, I promise. So the opening line, hey John, it's Joel with eXp Realty, and I was calling regarding your home over at 123 Main Street. It's a for sale by owner. Yeah, well, the reason for my call is that, my company just sold a couple homes in the area, and these listings generated a number of buyers that shown strong interest in your neighborhood. And I just want to see, is your home still for sale? Yeah, absolutely it is. Here's two options for you guys at this point. Okay, cool. Well, the reason for my call is that I actually specialize in your neighborhood, and I just wanted to get some information about your home, and I wanted to let these potential buyers know. So would you mind telling me a little bit about your home? Or option B is, now listen, I'm sure you're getting called by a lot of real estate agents telling you that they have a buyer for your home, but even though we do have buyers that shown interest in your neighborhood, I'm not going to be like most of those agents and tell you that I actually have a specific buyer for your home because I haven't even seen your home yet. But what I would like to do is I would like your permission to share these details about your home with the buyers that I do have looking in your neighborhood. So of course they're going to say yes.
Sure.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit about your home. What are some of your favorite features? I mean, like, why do you love your home? And let them talk. Kinder says they will talk for 10 minutes about their home because they're the worst salespeople on the face of the planet, right? They don't know what they're doing. They're not trained like we are. So let them talk about it. So I'll tell you what, John, it sounds like a beautiful home, but let me ask you this. Why are you even selling it in the first place? Well, now I see that you're listed at $200,000, correct? Great. And if I were to bring you a buyer to pay you your price, terms, and close in your time frame, you'd be open to paying me a 3% commission, wouldn't you? That's great. Now, is there any flexibility on that $200,000 asking price, or is that firm? What would be your rock bottom number if a buyer were to come to you today and pay you cash? So awesome. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to come over, take a look at your house, but here's the deal. I will not be bringing a buyer with me. I would just like to take a look at your house. While I'm there, I'd like to show you a system that could potentially net you more money if I think that you're a good fit for that. Would you be open to hearing that? So you're going to get some pushback right here. No, we're not interested. Listen, I know there's no obligation. I'm already going to be there, and all I need is 20 minutes of your time. No. Listen, worst case scenario, I'm going to leave you with a few marketing tips so you can maintain your asking price as a for sale by owner. These are all objection handles. And you could word that last sentence a little differently too. So instead of saying, while I'm there, I'd like to show you a system. So yeah, absolutely. So after we're all said and done, would you mind if I think that you're a good fit for an aggressive system that we have in place, would you be open to hearing that just for 20 minutes of your time if I could potentially net you some more money on your house? So reword that to whatever works, but it's all about netting them more money in their pocket. So, and then if they do say yes, you know, it's a slot close where it's, hey, that's great. So do afternoons or evenings work better for you guys?
And the alternative.
Yeah,
I
the alternative.
think too, you know, an emphasis there that you want to, that you hit home on, that I just want to emphasize for everybody, is that a process, a proven, repeatable system backed by market research to help you sell your home for up to 18% more than the average real estate agent.
Yep.
You don't have to say that, but you have to understand, you need to start dropping the system and process language in their head, because when you get together with them and you go through it, it's getting to that point of they have to believe that you have the best process for them to net them more money.
Yep.
It ain't about you. It can't be Joel, the hero, flying in. It's got to be about the process, that you've got a proven system that can net them more money, right? And so you got to drop that in their ear, man. And it's so, so important. You can't make it about you. It's just like you shared a while ago, because they don't give a shit about you. Right. They don't care about you. They don't even know you. You haven't built enough trust. There's not enough time. So you have to leverage the system and the process, because if you make it about you and, you know, it's all on expectations, you're going to let them down 100% of the time. So make it about the process. It's that critical.
That's a great point, you know, and you could, I mean, there are so many ways around it, but I mean, that's great if someone ever says, well, what makes you different than every other real estate agent that's calling me? You know, I call it our elevator speech, right? It's, well, I have a proven, repeatable process that's actually backed by market research, you know, to put 18% more money in your pocket than the methods of a traditional real estate agent, or basically someone with a less aggressive technique than what I have. Yep. So, you know, you're going to get pushback. I know we make it sound very easy, but you have to remember that once you do this and you have an arsenal in your pocket, what we could say to a for sale by owner is, listen, we actually helped net a for sale by owner $13,000 more in his pocket, even after he paid our real estate commission, because he was priced improperly. And I just want to make sure that that is not the case here. So give me 20 minutes of your time. I can show you a system where we can net you more money. And by the way, if we can't and you don't agree with the system, I'll pick my stuff up and walk out. Mm-hmm. There's zero obligation to this whatsoever. So you could be very upfront and nonchalant with them. Like, listen, I'm just here to help you. It's all about you. I want to net you more money, you. And I'll tell you, the goal is it's to get into, obviously to get into people's doors, but it's you're going to start with a conversation. The two goals are appointments and nurtures, and we're going to talk about the nurture in a second. But yeah, you're going to get into the doors, and they already know why you're there. Now, here's what's eliminated. This is why we changed our script, because the door's not opening, and they're not looking over your shoulder going, oh, hey, where's your buyer at? I already told you I'm not bringing a buyer. Right? They already know that I'm going to be telling them the home selling system. And guys, this just happened to me. I shouldn't say just, man. It was, probably 2 years ago. And I don't run appointments anymore, right? I'll run them with our agents while they're going through training and stuff. I'll do live listing presentations. Well, this happened to be a referral straight from Al. And these people called, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go out there. They're a for sale by owner. And I walk in the door. I do everything that I said, use the exact same script. And they're standing at the island with their arms on the island, not even sitting down. And they're like, okay, great. Well, if you have any buyers, bring them on by. And, I was there, and it was so easy for me just to say, okay, great. Thanks for your time, and walk out. Like, I guarantee you 9 out of 10 real estate agents would. And I'm like, well, you know what? I actually prepared for this appointment. And like we talked on the phone, I'd like to go over a strategy, a system with you that's designed to put the most amount of money in your pocket. And, where would you like to sit down? Now, I'm the expert in the situation. Now you are listening to me. And at that point, they listened, they loved it. They signed with me that day. And I never thought that would have happened, but they know why you're there as long as you're following this process. So I got a pro tip for you guys, and I might have to switch screens here so you can see this. Oh, different one. Nurture the for sale by owner. What? Here's what 99 out of 100 real estate agents that I talk to are not doing. No, we don't want to put more money in our pocket. We don't. Nope, we're not interested in any of that stuff. We're going to for sale by owner. You agents suck. We don't like you, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, that door is still open for me. So here is a question. Write this down. That sounds good. Hey, listen, I heard you. I'm going to respect you. So let me ask you this one more question. How long are you going to give it a shot for sale by owner before you do hire an aggressive real estate agent? FYI, they will answer you every time. And here's our two most common answers: 2 weeks and 4 weeks. And then you get the a-holes that'll say, 2 years, which we did just have that. And listen, if you do get that response, this is a great objection handle. Well, you know what? I wish you the best of luck. It sounds like you're not a good fit for our aggressive home selling system anyways. So, but here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to follow up with you, in about a month, just to see how everything is going and how your open houses have been going.
Yep.
Sounds like you're not a good fit for our aggressive home selling system. It's the takeaway. And right there, they're like, because the response you're going to get is, whoa. What do you mean I'm not a fit for your home selling system? Well, it just doesn't sound like it. I mean, I know it like the back of my hand, and, you want to give it a shot for 2 years at the price where you want. You have no marketing strategy, so it doesn't sound like you're a good fit. You might turn that into an appointment very easily.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And don't take it, the thing is don't take it personal, right? You got to understand that you're not going through what they're going through in their life, right? They're in a different situation. I mean, that's the whole power of empathy. And if you really are truly that guide that can help them through this situation, first off, you have to believe that you have the systems and processes, and that you, in your core being, that you can help them accomplish whatever you want to help them accomplish. It was a mindset that we've adopted for many, many years. That's why there's zero fear calling expired, zero fear calling anybody, because if you know in your core that you have the tools, the resources, the knowledge to help them accomplish whatever it is that they want to accomplish, then you should never be afraid to talk to another human being and uncover what it is that they're trying to accomplish. Just be mindful that they're going through a particular situation in a transition in their life, right? You don't know what they're dealing with. And so if they come across a little bit of an ass, don't take it personal, right? You don't know what they're going through. And so just be mindful of that, right? And understand, and just, if you come from the place of like, man, whatever you're going through, brother, I get it. I've probably experienced it myself, or I know somebody that has. I just know in my heart that I can help you accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And when you adopt that type of belief and mindset, dude, you can talk to anybody and you can help anybody do whatever you want. And It's just not taking it personal. That's why the for sale by owner is the greatest nurture.
Yeah.
You already know that they have a plan. You're asking these questions. Now just add value. Just keep depositing value.
Yeah, but you said something so crucial there, that this doesn't work if you don't believe in the system that you're utilizing. If you don't believe that I have the best home selling system on the face of the planet, and that if you don't hire me, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. If you don't believe that, then then the calls are going to go backwards. So, right. And I actually learned that from one of our agents that we had on our team. The close ratio was horrible. We're trying to identify why. And the words out of her mouth were, well, we don't do everything that we're promising them. I'm like, the hell we don't. And they were just trained improperly, right? That was on me. So believe in your system that it is there to work, and these calls will be super easy for you.
If you guys haven't gone through CHSA, go through it, man. Make it mandatory. You've got to have your presentation process on point. So go through that. Go through CHSA. Consume all of the CHSA, CHBA content that you can, that lives inside of Kajabi. And also, dude, come to Dallas, right? Spend 3 days with us. We've got a boot camp here we are, at the time of this is September. And, our next boot camp is scheduled in the first week of December. That's usually, we always have been over the last 4 or 5 years, always that first week of December. And then we always have another one some other time during the year. And we'll do, I think we're planning on 2 of them in 2020, but if there's more demand, we'll do another one. I just come immerse yourself, right? I cannot stress that enough. So it's not a plug. We just believe that it's the most critical process for you to implement into your business to guarantee your success. And it's just like what Joel was sharing. You believe you have the best system, then you're not afraid to talk to anybody because you know you can back it up.
Hell, I'll plug it. Honestly, I didn't get this. Everything that I was trading with you guys, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, this is great. And it was not getting through my thick skull. And I sat down at my very first boot camp, and I was like, oh shit, this is what they're talking about. And it was rinse and repeat for me. And I don't remember how many, 8 or 9 that I've been to. Unbelievable. So, but back to nurturing this for sale by owner real quick, because I got a few more slides and I got a really good nugget at the end, or maybe right after this. So get that. So let me ask you this. How long are you going to give it a shot for sale by owner before you do hire an aggressive real estate agent? 2 weeks, 4 weeks. That's great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you back in 2 weeks to the day. And if you have not sold your home over on Main Street, I am going to come over your house and I am going to go over an aggressive marketing system that I feel that I could have gotten that house sold within these 2 weeks. Does that sound fair? Of course they're going to agree with you for 2 reasons. Either they believe you or they want to get your ass off the phone. It don't matter. What am I doing? I'm jumping in my calendar. I'm putting that follow-up in there. And then I am calling them 2 weeks to the day. Do not miss that. Hey, John, it's Joel at EXP. As promised, I'm giving you a call regarding your for sale by owner. And have you sold that yet? Is the house still available? Okay, great. Well, like I said, I'm going to come over. I want to show you this great marketing system that we do have. So let me ask you this. Do afternoons or evenings work better for both of you?
No, I don't.
So, and then, after they answer that, I got Wednesday or Thursday open. So nurture the for sale by owner. This is what most real estate agents are not doing. They're forgetting about them as soon as it's no. They don't ask that next question. And here's the weird thing. You're going to, I think the numbers are next. Metrics. So Get this. If I make 20 for sale by owner calls, and you want to talk more about rookie numbers, I think you can see how passionate I am about this because these are rookie numbers. Go make 20 calls this week to for sale by owners. If you can't get a hold of 20, call me, okay? There's a greater issue, but I guarantee you will end up getting a hold of 20 of them, but let's err on the side of caution. Let's just say you have 16 conversations. If you have 16 of those conversations that I just went over, these were my numbers, by the way. So when I first started this, and then this is also what we coach for our team towards these numbers, these metrics. If you have 16 of these conversations, you should be getting at least 50% of their doors. And I think that that's low, but you know what, whatever. Make these numbers whatever you assume is going to happen. But check this out. If I go into 8, I'm going to sign 2 of them. And that's where the rookie numbers come, right?
Rookie numbers. Joel, you got to get those numbers up.
Yeah, 25% close ratio. That's horrible. But I'm erring on the side of caution. I want you to see exactly how this works, okay? But that equals, by the time I have 8 nurturers in there that I get to call back in 2 or 4 weeks as well. So I just set myself up on potentially 8 more potentially, right? And not all of them are going to meet with you, but there's going to be a good portion of those that do because they are, it's, I don't know if it's a law of reciprocity, but you're giving them something, a respect and telling them, I'll wait the 2 or 4 weeks and then they're going to give you something in return. So there's 8 appointments that I just nurtured myself in the next 2 to 4 weeks.
Perfect.
Or more. So here's the last pro tip. I got one of these too. I'm gonna unshare and then reshare this next page. I couldn't get it on the slideshow for some reason. This is the differentiator that will change the ball game. Shoot an intro video after you have a great call and shoot it over to them. So let me dive into that here.
While you're pulling that up, Brian Murray made an observation that, what he's noticed in his market is that the time frame, they'll say a little bit longer, but it's usually half of what it is. So if they're saying about 3 to 6 weeks, what he's seeing is that it'll hit back to 1.5 to 2 to 4. So it'll probably, I can still see it falling in that 2 to 4, but if they say a little bit longer, don't take it at face value. I mean, just keep following up, nurturing that opportunity.
Yep. Look at that ugly guy. All right, now listen to this and take notes. It's short, it's sweet, and I'll tell you why we do this in a second. Hey, John, it's Joel with eXp Realty. Hey, just want to send you a quick video to thank you for taking the time today to tell me a little bit more about your house. It really sounds like a beautiful house. I also want you to put a face to the name. So this is my cell phone number. If you need anything in the meantime, please do not hesitate to call me, and I look forward to seeing you at Friday at 1 o'clock. Talk to you soon, John.
Boom.
Hey, John.
Man, so powerful. It's so powerful. You guys, if you're leveraging the power of video in this scenario, in any other scenario, man, you're falling behind. And so definitely embrace it, get over it. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, what we've found is that the raw, real video is better than the scripted, magnificent, perfect lighting, on point video.
Yep. Yeah. And here it's a differentiator. Real estate's based on emotions. I want them to see me and get emotionally attached to me, and that's, and this wasn't my idea. This is something that we've been doing for a while, but it really, it consumed me when I had to buy a truck in March, and my damn sales guy, every question I had, and I'd email him a question, he would respond with a video email. And I replayed it like 6 times. I'm like, this is the coolest thing. And it was real. It was, hey, Joel, thanks so much for your questions. I got it. Here are the answers. And it's the next thing, right? It's what nobody else is doing, and you have to get them, you have to get them emotionally attached to that. So I see Brian Murray says, the one thing I've noticed in my market is that when I ask their timeline for hiring an agent, it's usually about half than what they say. So if it's 3 weeks, it usually means 2. So a real good way that you could follow up with them within those 2 or 4 weeks, or if they're saying 3 weeks and they're going to list sooner, is ask them, hey, are you doing any marketing? You're going to be holding any open houses on the house? Okay, that's great. So you're going to be doing one this Sunday? Cool. I'm going to follow up with you on Monday and just find out exactly how your traffic went.
Perfect.
And it's a real good text to send. Hey, Brian, thanks. Hey, just want to check in. How did your open house go? How was the traffic?
It's perfect.
Yep. So you could always set yourself up for figuring out how to follow up with them in between there. But you're right. I mean, normally it is half. Normally they are lying, but it's our job to, to follow up with them on a regular basis. But that was a very good question.
Awesome. Hey, brother, how do we want to kind of wrap here? Just kind of, I guess, go fast forward here, to wrap up here at the top of the hour.
Yeah, real quick. So where do we find FSBOs? So we pay for them. RedX, the Onyx data, the Vortex. That's the best thing for our marketplace. It varies. It's not very expensive. However, if you do not have a budget for that, I respect that. And where you can find the FSBOs, guys, go on freaking Zillow. I hate Zillow, and I'm not trying to push them, but they are right there. You go over to listing type, you hit it for sale, check the buy owner button, and you're golden. They all come up. Oh, look, here's a house, and there's the property owner's address. Cell phone number. So they're right there at your fingertip. You can literally type a zip code and hone in on a zip code. And then, lastly, I always leave everybody with this: the reach up, reach down method. It's similar to what John says: the plus minus equal. If you see of anybody that you need help with that is struggling or shooting some questions out there on the Honey Badger page, reach up, reach down to them. If you feel that you're elevated and you can help them out, reach down, pull them up. If you feel that you need to ask a question, there's nothing too small for you guys to ask, because you just wait for the comments that are going to come and all the help. So ask any questions that you do need. And if you guys need to connect with me, it's my access to my calendar is joelhollo.work.
Love it. Awesome, man. I really appreciate you making the time. I know your schedule is crazy, and taking the time and adding value back and being a true expert mentor today. Really appreciate it. for all of you guys listening in, make sure when we get the call posted, make sure you guys give Joel some love, and also, you know, share what your biggest takeaway was. You know, quite a few of you tuning in with us today. Yeah, share your biggest takeaway. What are you going to implement? I mean, you know, make it public, right? That's how you exponentially grow, when you can throw that public declaration out there. And, you know, I know somebody in the Honey Badger group will hold you accountable. So, yeah. Brother, I appreciate you, and thank you guys for tuning in. And make sure you guys give Joel some love.
Appreciate you guys. Hey, I will be posting that the script, and also if you have any challenges or objections that you're fielding, shoot me a private message and I'll help you handle them.
Love it. Thank you, brother.
You guys, thank you.
See ya.